It's a fear porn, it's a fear porn, it's fear porn, come on. It keeps the cheese and the maze and the rats and the race and those peasants in the days like a hip up on the heads. It's a fear porn, come on.
Cips clips. Alrighty YouTube, another one of Cips clips. Welcome to See Through the Fear Porn Friday. Try to start as close to 10 as I could. What was I saying? I'm going to play, to start off with, F.E.A.R porns, funnily enough, by the best artist in the world, Days. Link below as always if you want to check out this tune, this his channel, and a lot of his other cover stuff, and a lot of his original stuff, which is my favourite. But I'm going to start off with that. We're going to be talking about statism. It's not so much that word I want to focus on, to be honest. It's more the add-on or whatever. It's more the afterthought of the belief you require permission to be free. Now, I think the reality of it is people would say it's impossible. Well, different degrees, variants and stuff, but we'll go into that after I say hi to everybody in the chat room, and then I'll get the link shared out and all that. I completely forgot to do all that crap. Sorry, I forgot to do this. I'm thinking on my feet. Yep. So let me get back into the chat room. Hi everybody in the chat that's here from the get-go. Link will be below shortly, and I'll stick it in the Skypes as well. So just give me a few seconds while we're chilling and warming up, getting our grey matter working to Daisy's fine tune. I'll get the link shared out. So Blazing, Martin, Alan McVicker, evening guys. How you doing? Blazing, Alan, Martin, Becky, Newbie, how you all doing? Thanks for joining as always. Lowlands, how you doing, buddy? Rebecca, how you doing, guys and girls? Hello, the artist formerly known as Tony, Tazzy as well. Knock knock. Who's there? Somebody with one working at harm. Sorry, Taz. Amy, Tony, Becky, Blazing, Holly, how you doing? Jamesy boy, in the evening. Cookie, how you doing? Roberto Carlos. I see you're suffering from the results of them taking away the camera ability on the old YouTube. Susanna, how you doing? Organic Light in the evening, everybody, guys and girls. Fag Paper, Becky, Tazzy, Peter, Stynus, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you in. Becky, Organic, Amy, Holly, Rebel Against the Establishment, how you doing? Mr. Drew, Debbie, Days in the evening, buddy. Daisy's link below. F.E.A.R porn, his channel. Ridiculizer is Days. Shit, I need to point that out more, because Ridiculizer here is Days. The link's below in the description as well, but click on him will take you directly to his channel. You get all your stuff. Becky, Rebel Against the Establishment, Amy, Collyman, Zigzag in the evening, everybody. Thanks for joining. Zigzag, Days, Debbie, Susanna, Jamesy boy, Just Music, Debbie, Martin, Amy. So hopefully I've managed to say hi to yous all in the evening. Check in a few wee seconds, and I'll get the link below. In the meantime, I'm going to be playing some F.E.A.R porn of the music variety. So enjoy. Pop pickers.
scared to look at the proof, to speak my own truth, to come to my own conclusions. I feel more isolated every day as I drag myself to a job I hate. I'm a calcified lethargic, born of this day. I better hurry up, man, I can't be late. I can't pause for a fish, or even have a laugh, but my job's got fear of my spotty teenage gaffer on a power trip. Who needs to make the numbers skip? The man you know, my face just doesn't fit into his card design. And in a very short time, my hole is out on the door line with the rest of you. What the fuck am I gonna do? My head's up my arse and I know my life's a farce. It's a fear porn, it's a fear porn, it's fear porn, come on. It keeps the cheese and the maze and the rats and the race and us peasants in the days like Edward Bernays. It's a fear porn, come on. I'd suck between a ducker's cock for authentication. Pick up pills all day, log into my station. Toiling away, I'll keep my head down all day for a minimum pay. And when the shit hits the fan, I'll duck and look the other way. It's a fear porn, it's a fear porn, it's fear porn, come on. It keeps the cheese and the maze and the rats and the race and us peasants in the days like Edward Bernays. It's a fear porn, come on. See through the fear porn, 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 see through the fear porn. I believe in fairy tales. I believe in fairy tales. I believe in fairy tales.
Well, there you have it. Daisy's Fear Porn. Make sure you go and check it out. I need to have both of them going. Now, let's batter back into the hangout. In fact, firstly, let's go and just see if there's anybody new in the chat room. What button do I need to press? Susan, Tony, Mr. Drew, Zagzagovsky, Quick Scare's a new arrival in there. Jamesy boy, Amy, Holly, how yous all doing? Thanks for joining. Peter as well. So I think I've managed to say hi to yous all. There we go. Hold on 1 second. So in the evening, Cookie, how you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
Sorry, I was muted while I was listening to music, so.
No worries, man. I'm just
Yeah, I was going to flicking backwards and forwards.
Newbie, you've got your mic, you've got your mic live, and it's really you're crackling and all that. Well, can I hear you, Cookie? Did I mute you?
No, I muted myself, mate.
Alright, thank God. Hold on.
Just in case it was some kind of...
I thought somebody pulled the plug there. I thought the battery on the Matrix ran out for a second. It's like I'm getting a bit worried, man. How are you doing this evening, Cookie? Alright, man?
Yeah, alright, man. Not too bad.
Um,
Catching up on stuff.
Right, I forgot. I'm too busy thinking about fucking pressing broadcast buttons and microphones and whatnot. Statism, the belief that you require permission to be free. Now, the reason I wanted to, I actually thought about touching on this topic, believe it or not, was because of it was a conversation we were having after one of the hangouts, during one of the hangouts, and it went down the route of why the more modern day corporations, franchises, also known as modern states, modern countries, so on and so forth. They're often referred to as the state, and then I heard people saying, I know, see how sometimes it's staring in your face with the state of mind, and then what is the state? The state is it isn't the country. You can belong to a country, but you certainly can withdraw yourself from the state, and I think, I don't know, I might have been... I've got the fucking phone jacker. Fucking, we'll get an enemy of the state. Hey, dirty peanut turd, what's your name and where do you come from? What's your name, where do you come from?
I would just like to say that the problem in Ireland is not just an Irish problem.
What the fuck?
Mate, this is my IRA connections. This is of this is a world exclusive, everybody. I've got Big Yin, but no, I've got Big Hamish for the IRA. This is real. This is like a Kips Clips exclusive. This isn't Wag the Dog or anything. I've got the real IRA. So hey, Mr. IRA, what's happening?
I would just like to say that
that's fucking out.
The troubles is we're helping MI5 out with some divide and conquer techniques in Ireland, and we've run out of Semtex.
What the fuck? No, we ain't having that. No, I'm from fucking Wilton.
Well, listen, you've got the opportunity like everyone else. Go start a GoFundMe campaign.
IRA do a fund me.
I want to import some of those American police because I've just been offended and I need them to arrest somebody.
Did you see that video?
I'm kind of proud of just what happened there, man. That definitely get more algorithms going.
It was a little bit scary, though.
Mark, remember one at a time, mate. Remember, you've got that had most algorithms in the world going off that I think this Hangouts ever brought to us, man.
Alan, you've got a page open, mate.
Oh, safety man, you good? So that wasn't the real IRA, that was Tony with Winter Ballyclava.
That was Tony on the crack pipe.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen that masked stranger before.
Tony, do you know what you should do, mate, right? Do you know
Who watched that match?
If you ever did, you definitely don't want to see him again.
Tony, you're good at editing stuff.
Telephone operator?
Tony, you're good at editing stuff, so do yourself in that Ballyclava doing an oh no, mate, you might actually bring fucking on.
I know, I wend up getting shot. I'm the West Coast.
I know, I'm thinking that, mate, you don't want to push that too much.
Shot for less.
You will end up getting trouble. Man.
It's a sad state of affairs, mate, that you can't do something like those just as I carry on. You see, there'd be somebody offended.
Mate, aye.
But I could do it.
No, I was in a Skype and that with Peter, and I done See like a wee Skype emoji, a wee guy with a ski mask, his seed pops up and he looks a bit and he just ducks back down again.
And then, did you turn your camera on and do the exact same thing?
I'm making sure that you caught it.
Well, there's our update for your Daily Terrorist. Tony, that's just something you should do, a Daily Terrorist update, man. Stick your balaclava on, man. Just do a wee skit. Just call yourself the Daily Terrorist.
No, look, I'll say there's
a weather report like that.
somewhere in the Roby and they'll come up and fucking jail me.
The daily non-violent extremist update, man, something like that. Just fucking I don't know if an Irish accent would fucking.
Oh, a Jamaican accent.
Put on Mohammed accent, man. The people like taking the people.
Get a voice synth. Use a voice synthesizer and just shift the pitch of your voice a little bit.
I've got one in audio editing suite. I could do that.
What you need to do is you need to use the voice of Roy Walker from the 80s TV show Catchphrase. Say what you see.
Right, well, after our update for the terrorists...
And then, at the end of it, when they get the answer right, you go, you're right!
Well, we've got our daily terrorist update, right? So now, statism, talking about people that are against the state, IRA. But statism, right? So I got thinking about statism again, after talking about the actual word state and how it's used in the legal world to define what you need to actually obey. You know what I mean? It tends to be the state, and then when you hear them talking about Israel, it's the state of Israel, and it's the administration, isn't it? It's the administration that... So you don't... Because Israel... And this will upset people, but the area... There's been an area called Israel in Palestine that existed before the state of Israel existed. Not a lot of people know that, or do people know that? But there was an area, because I know you're either on one side of the fence or whatever, and you can't say both of them existed, but there was an area inside Palestine that was called Israel and stuff, and it was a time when Jews and shit, relatively, compared to nowadays, stayed in there in fucking peace and harmony, man. But, and again... That's the creation of the state of Israel, the statism, the whole state attitude that's causing these problems and will cause these problems. And what's the solution? What's the solution they're looking for? Let's create two states. Woohoo! Two statisms, two tribes go to war. You know what I mean? Money's fucking so statism. I started thinking about that, and then obviously that morphed into sort of a. Just the belief you need to be free, and we're witnessing that right now with all these Punch and Judy lovely puppets, man, up there singing everybody's tune. Trump fucking doing his drums, and fucking who's the other douchebag? Fucking Sanders doing his crap. And then you've got fucking Corduroy Corbyn and the rest of them, and then you've even got all the right wing in Europe and all the rest. And what are they doing? They're getting everybody to engage with the state again and think the state is the answer to the problems that they've created and manifested in the first place. And I don't know if you notice this right now, that everything you see on the TV, man, they're offering up fucking solutions. Like,
it's a fucking joke, isn't it?
CNN the day we had a clip and they were pumping it out and they were like that. They were basically pointing you in the direction of buying gold, right? So they've now jumped on the same bandwagon, Alex Jones and the rest of them, rightly, wrongly, whether they've bought the bullshit or they know they're aware of the bullshit. Somebody made a good point, though. Like, somebody rocks up to you and goes, hey, I've got a really good investment for you, some gold, man. All I want is your fiat money. You know, that's really, really bad, that stuff. You don't want that fiat money, you want gold. Hold on, you're telling me gold's the best investment, and if you hold on to your gold, you're going to be a millionaire in the future? Yeah, man! Why don't you hold on to your gold and I'll hold on to my fiat money and buy shit then, douchebag, know what I mean? So, nobody sees it for these fucking points of view, and ultimately, see when we're moving towards a fucking possibility of the shit hitting the fan, it's not going to be apocalypse now and fucking, here's a shred of gold for a grain of corn, know what I mean? It's not going to be that shit, it's going to be fucking foods off the shelves, things shutting down for a long period of time. So it's the people that are going to actually be aware of what's really going on, and see if you're lucky enough to have any money and you're sitting thinking, what do I do? Because all the fear mongering, buy shit. Buy stuff you need. Don't go and fucking hand it off to people who are selling you the solution and making a profit off it. Right, think of Alex Jones. He rocks up in his show and he goes, yes man, here's my best man. He hooked me up with gold back in the day. And then, see if he was honest, he would go, then I got onto the scam and no, I'll no longer buy gold, I sell gold. Right, so even Alex Jones is on the bandwagon. I guarantee he's not got stocks of gold. He's got lots of stuff that he's bought with the fiat money that fucking idiots have exchanged for that gold. What have they got for it? The stuff that the government can rock up and confiscate and have done in the past. The stuff that you'll happily go down.
Yeah, they did that, didn't they?
Hold on, Martin, man. Let's finish. The things, the stuff you'll happily go down and fucking get a loaf of bread, something you pay £100 for or whatever, when you're hungry. And do you think they'll drive you to that? Do you think you'll ever be in maybe a 1 month, 3 month, 1 year period where fucking things are tight? And what are you going to do with that gold? You're going to be flogging that for anybody that had the fucking foresight to buy stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know what you do with that £100,000. I'm going to buy lumps of gold. Buy a fucking bakery. Buy a house in an area, and then here's something you can actually make money and be fucking moral about it as well. Buy a house and rent it out for below market value. You know what I mean? And then you've got the inherent wealth and somewhere that somebody will always need somewhere to fucking stay. They're always willing to exchange their labour, their sweat of their brow, their fucking thanks. So that's the kind of stuff you need to be looking in for. But think of all these corporate charlatans that are out there selling you the truth, and every road that leads you down every rabbit hole always parts you with your money and a load of fucking bullcrap. Yeah, I'm ready for the apocalypse. I've got a zombie knife. I've got 60 million knives across, and buy those stuff. I'm fascinated with things as well, man. But people are stocking up in the wrong things. Buy stuff, man. Like fucking even Organic Light was talking about it the other day. Buy chili. Well, land in chili. Right, so a wee bit more grander than what I'm talking about right now. But same idea. Buy tangible stuff, man. Things that are actually going to serve people, communities, the natural ecosystem of human beings that will be about if and when this shit that we're witnessing around us falls down. And then be aware of what the shit that they're offering you up for fucking... they're trying to sell you gold on CNN money, and they're also trying to sell you one world digital currencies, and you better believe it, man. See this digital currency, man, it's right round the corner. They are pushing so hard for it, and when I say it's right round the corner, 6 months, 18 months, 2 years, they'll be rolling it out in regions. They'll be using some sort of a bullcrap fucking computer hack scam bullcrap, you know what I mean, some pretext to pull it out and go, we're going to roll it out here, and then it'll just snowball and we'll be fucked. And it will all be to support the state, the system that's got us in this place before, because the new world order's happened, the tides are changing, the chips are up in the air, they're landing, and if you've not got a mind of your own, you'll get led a merry dance, and you'll let them... They'll just move. What they'll do is they'll shift the chairs in the Titanic. What you do is want to be aware of them shifting the chairs in the Titanic and fucking throw the bad, rotten chairs off, so they can't sit back down on it and stuff. You know what I mean? Resume fractional reserve banking. Resume a commodity-based currency that they control the commodity, even gold. I mean, the CNN piece I watched today was like, well, gold's been about for thousands of years. The reason it's so valuable is it's scarcity. That word I can't say. All the gold in the world today could only fill 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And it's like, right, well, who owns the gold mines and who dictates how much they can get fucking mined? It's like diamonds, man. If you opened those things up, the price would fall, and it's a continuous scam. So the people who are selling you the gold, at the end of the day, it's the corporations that own the banking, the mining, industry that makes profit from it, and all this peddling of wee small bars and stuff makes them the dough, man. So
hang on, Kit, man. Hang on, look. At the end of the day, you can't eat fucking gold, can you?
Well, that's the kind of point I'm making a larger thing. I'll get this off my chest, and then everybody can butter in. So, statism, it's kind of like all these tools that the state's using us to keep them trapped right now. a lot of them are crumbling, and they're trying to set up other mechanisms which will perpetuate their basically domination control over us as a species. So wisen yourself up and try and think ways of breaking free, because they have, I don't know, man, maybe I'm too positive, but it looks to me like they're scrambling or forcing shit through, or you know what I mean, like they don't really know what they're doing. So it looks good, but they're still going for it, and unfortunately they will stand there with a truncheon until you accept it. Look at these wars. But anyway, the belief you need to be free. In the evening, Tony, my non-violent extremist terrorist. Oh, he's away.
He's gone.
He wanted to fucking rebel so much. He's like, fuck that, I'm away out
Yeah.
Becky,
He's not conforming to listening to you.
he's not conforming at all.
Non-conformist.
The monologue was too long.
I had to get it out, man. Now I can sit back and chill. Becky, so how you doing? What's happening in North Carolinas? What do you think about statism and the belief that you need permission to be free? I wonder where I got that meme from.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to ask permission to be free. I mean, we're born. I mean, yeah.
Born free, and Becky, see, Americans as well, you have got a sort of a step up in the argument with the whole language and construct around the Constitution and Bill of Rights and whatnot, and it's but what you're witnessing right now again is people getting engaged with Trump and on the other hand Sanders, and they people are still looking for permission to be free. There's no, they're engaging with the state. They're asking the state, excuse me, sir, can you please take away my chains? They're never going to go yes. You're going to have to break them yourself, and the chains, and they have manipulated us into a mental slavery in the sense that the chains that you cannot see. So you do have to learn how to break the mental chains, and whether anybody can do it 100% or not, fake knows. But it's definitely something you need to recognise to be able to even attempt to move away from it. And then you can't begrudge everybody else as well. What you doing? You're not doing that. Everybody's approach is equal as the last man, because I don't see any one man, woman, child being able to fucking like He-Man conquer this whole fucking thing themselves. It's going to take a lot of different strokes from a lot of different folks, for lack of a better rhyme that's popping into my head right now. So, Cookie, in the evening, mate, what do you think about the old statism and stuff, man?
You sure you want to ask me now?
Are you going to rhyme?
Shall I vacillate?
Are you going to rhyme?
Well, state of mind, that's the main thing that I think is worth considering. What is it? What is a state? It's state of mind. There's only two ways somebody can enslave you. They either have to physically put irons on you, put shackles on you, or lock you in a cage or some shit like that, or they've got to enslave your mind. So they attempt to do it that way, preferably, because they ain't got the manpower to do it the other way. They will if you let them. If they can get away with it, they do. They will. But really, they're after controlling your perception so that they can mould you in the direction they want you to go. So statism is a state of mind. All these political constructs are states of mind. And government is about controlling the mind. Government to control what is going on in your head. That way you go along with what they want to do. And I'm only saying this to be somewhat objective and balanced about the situation. There's a hell of a lot that's been going on over the past however many years, several years now, that have more and more encouraged people to be more self-sufficient in one way or another. Yeah, the part of the narrative has been because of global warming, because of greenhouse effect, you've got to cut down how much you consume in and stuff like that. But all of this plays along with the corporatist construct, because when it comes down to it, and this is referencing, you're talking about the gold and the use of that kind of thing as commerce, when it comes down to it, you've got to go and buy your food from somewhere. This is talking for the majority of people. If you're not growing your own, you've got to go and buy it from somebody else. You've got to buy your energy supply. You've got to pay for the stuff that you need to live. And if they've already got the monopoly on all those infrastructures, to provide the basics that people need, then the corporatism will survive any changes that come along. If anything, it will just make them stronger. If we get rid of all systems of the state and government and stuff like that, what you're going to be left with is an outright corporatist environment where the monopolies will be there to supply you with what you need in exchange for your labour or time or whatever.
You put two important words together there, Cookie. The state or statism, whatever way, and monopoly. Because like sort of they go hand in hand, and then on top of that you can, because again a lot of people get bogged down with the argument of definition, like what is fascism and all that kind of stuff. Ultimately, man, you just need to look at all these isms we're getting offered up, and it's asking somebody for permission, and then it's organised monopolies at the heads of governments, masquerading as representing the people. But we all know, even like Jovelo joking about in every country, it's like, all politicians are corrupt. It's like, well, yeah, and then like no, exactly, Cookie. It's kind of like accepted, isn't it? It's
yeah. And do you see how that plays into that corporatist outcome for them? If people are putting less and less of their energy or reliance into some kind of bureaucratic infrastructure, because really that's what government and the state is supposed to be about. It's bureaucracy. They're meant to be there as your servants to, do that aspect of society's needs. But if people are putting less and less of their energy into that, where is their energy going? And the corporatism, business, finance structures are there to catch you. This is why over the last few years I've talked about things like how being energy self-sufficient, producing your own energy, is going to get co-opted by the system, and it has been over the last couple of years. They've sort of stepped in and gone, okay, well, yeah, you can have your solar panels, but you've got to be linked into the network and be part of our system and therefore pay for that supposedly free energy that you were getting in the first place. All this stuff plays into that switching of the main societal systems of operation, and the corporatist structure is becoming more revealed, more upfront, more I was going to say honest, if that's the right word, but being genuinely what it is, rather than trying to disguise it with this theatre of politics and government.
See, I think you touched on something there. I think the global warming bullcrap has definitely created a monster for them, in the sense of like your typical, let's say, middle class, a wee bit of money, eco-warrior who goes, right, I'm going to build a self-sufficient house, and then they enter into that process, and then they find all the government wants to do is stick a fucking meter on it.
Yeah.
And
cookie man, look, don't you think the state will ultimately, if it has to, it'll shoot you?
Yeah, if it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course it will. Yeah. So that's what I'll do, won't it?
I don't, to be honest, right, in the long run, I can't see them doing that on a mass scale. No. It's going to have to get really tip in the wrong direction for them to lose control of it to that extent. They will go to that extent if they feel the need to. How can I put it? The way I think about this thing is like it is an entity unto itself. It's a ravenous beast that is never sated. If you can think of it in that way, then you can look at its motives and directives based on that principle. It will do anything, absolutely anything, to keep eating. That's what it does. So it doesn't matter how you try to control it, it will look for ways to expand that lead to corruption through human fallibility and whatever. But it perpetuates this centralising black hole effect of the state comes fatter and fatter and fatter.
That's called an organic analogy.
Okay.
The system behaves as an organism. It will just it just will behave like that, won't it? And it won't give a fuck whether it kills us all.
No.
Yeah, I've got a conspiracy. The Illuminati's hidden my lighter. Oh no, I found it. It's behind the ashtray.
The thing only exists because we give it energy, we allow it to. It's a concept. It is a state of mind. That was why when Kip asked me, I thought as far as I'm concerned, the main point to emphasise here is state of mind. Because when it comes down to it, they are just as much restricted, saying they, using the kind of ubiquitous label they are just as much restricted in the same manner of the only way they can force you to do something, force you to be a slave, is by putting shackles on you, by using violence against you, yeah? Everything else is about manipulating people's perceptions so that they go along with what they're told to do. Yeah, to create rules and then make people follow the rules. That is why I say to think of it in that kind of concept, for me anyway, makes it easier to deal with all this other stuff. Is just like layers of complexity, the stuff to do with political ideas.
Cookie, I used to think that the reason we have had peace for the last fucking 60 years is because we've got nuclear weapons. And the generals will die, and the politicians will die at the same time as we will.
Who said you had peace, mate?
Well, yeah.
We have always been at peace.
There's not been. There is never.
Oh no, we've got smouldering warfare, haven't we? We've got low-level warfare,
and you've got hidden warfare. A lot of the commercial boon that we've experienced for the past however many decades has been based on the destruction of other countries.
Cookie, I don't know if you can remember. I don't know if you can remember the conversation we were having when we were first putting this around. But I think we were even like talking about like touched on like a lot of people refer to Israel as the state of Israel. Now the United States was the original colonies, right? It was the 13 original colonies, and then they turned into the United States, then they turned into states. Now, a lot of people will be going, well, and I point this out that these definitions only do give them the power that you give them, but it points out the manipulation of the language that has allowed them to give them the power to manipulate that from 13 colonies from a republic into a United States into a democracy scam. So
it's not just fucking America, Kip. It's fucking us. There's a colony in on the shipping forecast. There's German Bight. We fucking swapped that for Zanzibar. You look that up on fucking history.
What's that? Say that again. Sorry, Barton.
German Bight. We swapped it for Zanzibar, and you can look it up.
Oh, you mean the area of land? You mean like?
No. German Bight is a little island off of Germany. We swapped it. That's why it's not called German Bight anymore.
Oh, well, no, mate. It's ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. It is ridiculous. I mean, I remember. Weirdly enough, which it makes sense now, so it'll be apparent now. But when I was in school, one of the topics I had an interest in was geography. And I remember back in the day, and I can't find anything about this on the interwebs, but I haven't spent too much time. But the Iran and Iraq kind of were abbreviations because they were made up by the British and the imperial empires that sort of withdrew and drew the borders. That's why they had different tribes in one country. The Iran and Iraq, Islamic Republic of Arab Nations is Iran, and Iraq I can't remember. Q stands for something, but I don't know.
Basically, I'm losing it now. We drew the fucking map, and it's come back to fucking haunt us.
We say we, mate. We say we, and I'm with you. But let's elaborate on that, because if you do look at it or explain it a wee bit further, it's been the corporate interests more or less throughout the years masquerading as Europe. Because if you look at Europe, you could say Europe borders have been pretty fair, and I even say that. But in fact, that's bullshit. Do you know Germany is a younger country than the United States of America?
You got to undo history, and it's fucking hard.
Mate, I think the scam of it all, kind of like the global warming, how they make it look real, is a very easy narrative to sell us all, it's because it's all true, is we're here for a very long time and we feel like we're here for a lifetime, but a lifetime is nothing, if that makes sense. It's a drop in the ocean. So we feel like if we witness a couple of things in our life, wow. But when you look into time and memorial, and as you're saying, we only know about half the shit and how much it's true and stuff, but there's been a lot going on for a lot of time, and I think we're definitely at I don't know if you look at it, maybe waves of history, things that happen. We're definitely at a point, an apex, and I don't know, I would like to perceive it. It seems to be where everybody's had enough, or a lot of, there seems to be another one of those changes.
Let's fucking hope so.
Well, it does. It seems to be the accumulation of, and everybody says, oh, the awakening and stuff like that. Call it what you want, but it seems to be just the literal accumulation of, or the lack of borders of lies anymore. Whereas there used to be a very nationalistic, because the global things had an adverse effect with them being able to keep information shut down as well. Look at the royal family stuff, for an example.
The pendulum effect.
Well, the royal family, they've been able to, they used to be able to get press shut down, naked pictures stopped in the UK press. Nowadays you're like, boom, Google straight away, and the royal family are still sitting there banning it for print and stuff, but it's everywhere. So they lost that ability, and look at a few of the first hits that happened with that.
Honestly, Kib, I think they've lost control now.
But there's still people... Nah, man.
They would have had to have had control in the first place to lose it. This is, I think, one of those common points that we always end up tripping over. They don't have total control. That's part of the virtualized panopticon Stasi mind state that they want you to be in, to believe that they have absolute control, because that then affects your perception of what's going on in the world and what you can do about it. They've never had total control. They've just had a very good system of riding the tiger that has worked successfully for them, and that's what they've perfected. But that doesn't mean they totally control everything and everyone. They don't need to.
Well, Lowlands comes from... Lowland's a statist. He loves the state. So, how's statism over in the Lowlands, Peter? How you doing this evening, mate?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
But again, it's always hold on, Martin. It's always good to touch base with people from different points of the world, man, because you experience. In fact, I was talking about Scandinavia earlier on with their march towards cashless society, but and I hate to bring this up all the time, man, but in the Netherlands you get banks that you can't get money from, didn't you, Peter?
Yeah.
Can I have some money, please?
They sell you insurance.
But it's a
and
bank.
Loans and mortgages. So the cash machine is outside.
I remember, I remember it over here. Santander tried to enact a policy where if you wanted to withdraw less than 10 quid, you couldn't do it from in the branch. And oh man, the fights I had with them, I ended up having to shut down hundreds of accounts because of that pure principle.
Yeah, you could go in with $1 million and they wouldn't know what to do with it. So
how you doing this evening anyway, Peter? What do you think about statism and the belief that you need to ask permission to be free?
Yeah, well, there you go. It's a belief, and I don't believe.
I do believe.
Yeah, it's a ism. It's like like all those isms, you know, and
the Swedish
they're not flawless, none of them. So it's shit.
The Swedish banks they cut their interest rate to -1%.
They're doing negative interest rates and stuff, which is why they want the cashless society, mate.
It'll just the whole thing will just fuck up.
We'll go into that later, Martin. We'll bounce around the room and see what everybody's point on the old statism and get the first hour over with, man. So in the evening, Avatar that gives me a sore head, organic light, or organ light, also known as. How you doing, mate?
Evening, Kit. Evening, everyone.
Hey, man.
ultimately, the way I look at it is who has dominion over anyone.
They've used
No
lots
one.
of,
Do they?
they've used lots of tools over the years, Frank, didn't they? To hide it. Religion, politics, the whole shebang.
Right. It's like Cookie said. A lot of it. It's mind control. It's Plato's cave. Who has dominion? Who has right over anybody, apart from oneself? No one has any right over us.
We're big on the legal fiction and stuff, aren't you, Frank? And that's even so deep that it's so hard. You sound mental trying to explain it to people. It's hard for them to grasp because it's so simple, but yet so hard for them to grasp. And then I found out the other day, right, as part... Oh, shit. Was it 1066 or 1016 when the Normans came in? And that's when surnames get introduced into Britannia.
Sire name. The sire.
Well, originally it was like sort of surname is for sire, is
it? The legal fiction and that aspect as well is directly linked into what we're talking about in the sense of the state, because the state is a fiction. Again, in that legal sense, it's all part of the same paper magic that they like to play. So,
it's hard
the state is a fiction.
It's hard to explain that, and it blows some people away when you say it's a fiction. And in the most layman's terms, you could break it down in a sense. You just need to imagine what it is. What does it boil down to? And it boils down to people declaring that they are special and writing down on a bit of paper. Thus, all that exists is people believing in what's written down. So when you think about what the state is and people say it's a fiction, it's like the courts, it's like law. It's literally a bit of paper.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I talk about the declaring yourself independent and stuff again, and I point to the Declaration of Independence. People need to understand that's nothing. That was just people coming together and going, this is the way we're going to make it. Them putting it down on a bit of paper was symbolic, but it didn't make it be. They made it be. So it's the.
You can find a bit of paper or a building that represents the state, represents. You cannot find the state itself. It doesn't literally physically exist in any way whatsoever. It's a fiction, it's a metaphysical, it's concept, and it's only given power in the way that we give it power. So when somebody dons a uniform with the insignia on and whatever, and they hit you with a weapon, that is giving that fiction physical reality to create what they want it to do, what it is, what it claims to be.
Martin, what's your take on statism and the belief you need to be free and
it's like religion, isn't it? It's a construct.
Yeah.
Nah,
it's
well, religion's one of them, innit? Religion's another one.
Well, it's just something to make you believe.
It's just something to control you. It's something to control you. It's something to lord over you and tell you what set of rules and regulations to go by, whether it's to the adverse effect to you or not.
Kip, look, we're in fucking big trouble, basically.
I don't think so, mate. Look at it.
We are. We're in big trouble. The thing's unravelling.
Aye, but what's unravelling? What's unravelling? What's in trouble? It's everything that's fucking wrong. It's the
state's
system.
Unravelling.
Exactly. I don't like organised religion. I don't like the state. I don't like organised money. So I was going to say my fear, but what my attention on is what are these people trying to put in place is their capture to keep control. And what it's going to be is, Bitcoin, we've got a super duper paratrooper algorithm that nobody can crack. Maybe nobody can probably uncrackable. I mean, again, probably 9 out of 10 cats agree that it's uncrackable. Well, what about that one fucking cat that's so cool that fucking can crack it? The cool cracking cat. On crack.
Cats will be all right because they'll just fucking eat and kill, won't they?
I was going to quickly go to Peter, man, and try and get rid of. So I'm getting flashbacks to my DMT trips with Organ Light, and Peter here.
Oh,
How you
sorry.
doing, Peter?
Do you like it? Sorry.
I kid you not.
I'm just having to play around with my pictures tonight.
This sounds gay as fuck, man. If he's not mean, but I'm so much more sensitive to those sort of pictures nowadays, man. I kid you not. I mean, literally, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Sends you into a bit of a frenzy.
It's just see when you've seen them with a different you've seen.
I'll turn it off, man. Yeah, it's doing my head in actually looking at that. It's actually moving a lot. This.
In the evening, Peter. Anyway, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, just been listening to what everyone's been saying. Yeah, permission to be free. Well, yeah, I agree with, everything you've already said. Really, I mean, what more can I add to what you've already said? Just you are free. It's just it is a mind construct, like Cookie was saying. It's in the mind. It's as long as you know the difference between right and wrong and things like that. And you don't push things too quickly, and get people angry for no reason and stuff. And yeah, I think you just have to be, I always say, balanced. Go back to balance again. You don't have to. You are free. You don't have to ask for permission. It's like a stupid statement in a sense. It's like they've pushed it in our minds, like you say, and made us believe that we have to. That's even something to be considered, in a sense, But they've created a society to be like that. So we're living in the matrix. It's very difficult, and it's you're not free in that sense. Just look who you're allowed to, criticize. As they say, and look what they're doing to people. Generally around. They're putting a lot of people under, this hate thing going on. The Hegelian dialectic playing out again and again and again and again. The same shit, the same cycles just coming round. So.
And it's understanding that you don't need permission to be free that allows you to then start thinking about the mechanisms. We've spoke about a lot of them that are preventing us from being free, and how you. Cause, again, there's so many mechanisms. Somebody's expecting one person to stand up and go, "I know, I've got answer to everything," and I don't know. I'm positive and stuff, but I don't see that happening, and I think. A more fucking realistic target is for us all to chip in ideas together. And
they try to cage our minds off. I think Cookie was saying, it's just a cage they put on. It's like you think you are free in a sense, but the way that they've molded you and indoctrinated you and programmed you to behave and all the rest of it, how they want you to be, and never question them or don't cause too many ripples. People don't see it. They don't see the bars. They don't see it. We've said it for years and years and years. It's like it's been very cleverly done, especially with television and media and newspapers and radio, over the years, and the stuff that they keep continually pushing out there as being reality, the real stuff, which we know it isn't. It's their construct. It's their narrative, the way they want you to think. They change everything, as we know. History is written by them, the winners, and controlled by all the secret background boys, like the all the CFRs and all those sort of secret little backroom people who organise where we're going, how they're going to steer us the next direction, how virtual reality is going to be the next big thing, guys. I keep going on about that, but sorry, but I think it is a thing that's going to really just be aware of it. It's going to take over, or it's going to try to anyway. But sorry, I'm going off track there, but yeah.
No, mate, I get you.
Freedom, yeah.
Virtual reality is one of these mechanisms that look like they're putting in place to again keep us entrapped in the state.
In their system. Yeah,
who's going to charge up your A2 chip when you get it installed? You know what I mean? It's going to be the government sanctioned battery place.
And you're actually living in the internet, and that's the best place to be. You don't want to come back. So I think we just got to be, Yeah, the stuff like I say, that's coming. That's coming now. You know, it's getting put out there right now, and people are see how people react to that, and you know, the next big thing. You know.
See, in fact, I just thought of something there. If you look at prison as the microcosm, putting in games, sports, sanctioned times, time off, so on, the whole structured thing, the prison, how they control people. Now, it would, and again, they do that for the benefit of the state, the system that's controlling these people. And in the future, they're not adverse to using technology to control people, and you using that virtual reality thing. They use these things to sedate the prisoners so they don't think about climbing the walls. They don't think about what's on the other side. They don't think about the outside. It keeps them engrossed in what's around them.
Yeah.
So they would quite happily turn them into VR cells, for example.
Well, they've managed to synthesize everything. You know, they've done it with our food, with nature. They've turned nature into big pharma, you know, for health, and they synthesized everything. Now it's virtual reality. Now is really a reality. You know, it's here. It's been now. It's the next thing they're going to throw out there, and I'm sure they've been. You know, this is timed perfectly. You know, for people who's getting a little bit sort of. You know, it's the next thing. It's the next step forward. You know, the systems we're using now will be considered to be almost, you know, like you would look at an old hi-fi system from the 70s or something, you know, something that's really outdated and old, you know. So I think, it's just, I mean, I know I'm not going to get sucked into it, but it's seeing how they really are going to push this thing big time to get you sucked into that 24/7 as much as possible. It is scary a bit. I don't want to be fear and gloom and doom, but you know, just it's sold.
No, you're right, man. It is. Have you ever seen that film, THX 9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says, buy more now, for God's sake, or something like that. You know, it's just
definitely
it's the way they've been pushing it, though. They've been pushing this stuff for years and years and years and years, and now we're seeing, you know, everything being, you know, taken. I mean, you say permission to be free, but I mean, everybody's being tracked and traced now. Or, you know, everybody's, if you like, leaving a fingerprint for anybody to, you know exactly what's going on in their lives. You know, with social media especially, and this type of stuff. So, you know, the next step is just virtual worlds and people having virtual relationships and living not in reality because it's so not the thing to do. And you won't go and have social gatherings and meetups like you would do, you know, in, you know, these days, you know, or now. It's we've seen that anyway with the rise of computer games and the internet especially, you know, where people are just now more centered towards you know, being on their own on a system, communicating with others, but not actually being in the presence of others. So, you know, they're getting you normalized to that anyway, and I think virtual reality is just that next step up to, you know, that's how it's going to be. You know, if you're not on virtual reality, man, it's not happening in your life. You know, it's like when they said to me back in the day, get a computer, and I was like, well, what do I want a computer for? You know, honestly, I just didn't know what I wanted one for. Why do I want one?
I remember
the
first. See, again, we often speak about the common traits that are among not everybody, but a lot of people that gravitate towards this information. Computer games when they were younger is one of them, and one of the genres that I used to kind of fall into were those kind of fantasy role-playing games where you would take on a character and build up your role, and it was definitely that projection of. Shit, man, look, man, school's told me I'm going to be a bin sweeper all my life, but hey, man, look at my warrior, man. I'm at work and kick ass. 9 out of fucking 10, kick ass, man. It can do a spin, kick your ass move. It can chop your head off and kick your ass while he's chop your head off. And it was, in hindsight, and I mean, this was even up until, probably about 8 years ago, to a certain extent. I could find myself... Even in Football Manager, I was shit at football, loved watching it, wanted to be a football hero, couldn't do it, so I got Football Manager, man, and I don't know if anybody ever came across people that get absorbed, they have the addictive personalities and have tuned into Football Manager.
Exactly. I played as Glasgow Rangers in the second division for 8 years.
You would have won everything then, Martin. You would have won everything.
I won, but but you know.
So before
But
we skip
imagine
on,
actually being inside the game, though, actually being inside of it, which is what this new
Well,
technology
yeah.
is like. It's
No,
crazy.
on a positive, yeah, because Kip's right. It's all too easy to be negative. On a positive thing, you got people like fucking him and Cookie and all the rest of you.
well, you die. Well,
We've got real human
say
beings.
that,
you,
but
you can't be
I've
scared of
got
these.
a
You can't be
conflict.
scared
I've got
of
a
these.
definite. Listen, boys, I've got a definite conflict of interest here because earlier on today I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and I used the invincibility cheat to get into the military base and steal fighter jets. So
He's got a guilty complex.
Well, yeah.
Well, and on
Did you
that,
bomb Syria?
on that,
no, I bombed the entire police force of Los Santos.
Oh, that's all right. That's cool.
on that
I use
note,
missiles. I only use the missiles on the helicopters and the police cars because it's got the good thing is it's got a missile lock on, so you
it
can
was a
actually lock on the
humanitarian
ground
mission.
targets and onto the helicopters, so you can blow up the police in the air and on the ground. It's great. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You can put it down as a humanitarian mission.
I'm saving the people of Los Santos from police brutality.
Yep.
That's definitely one computer game I could touch base with again, man. But on that note, 5 in the evening, mate, how you doing? What's your take? 'Cause I know you think about this stuff. What's your take on statism?
Well,
the belief
you know, statism is another belief system, isn't it, Kip? It's like so many others, as has been mentioned in the chat room, like religion and all the rest of them, and they're just being used to manipulate vast majorities of people who believe and follow them. Like the followers of political parties, for example, like they're all subject to the laws of group conformity and obedience to authority, much like the church, and like all of these things. People are being brainwashed into foregoing their own critical thought towards authority in order to gain authority themselves by believing, as a Christian, as a black man, as a white man, I have some say in this. As my belief system, other people follow my belief system, so I must be right. You know? And that's different political parties, that's different religions. It's all of them.
Yeah. That's like collective bargaining, isn't it? You know.
Cool.
Ultimately, we're all living a life. We all get dealt a hand of cards, don't we, when we're born? And we just play the best with the hand we've been dealt, you know? Ultimately. And but all of this other stuff, all of this belief is being pushed onto us from outside of us as we're born into this system. We don't really have any participation on the way it runs. It just runs on from before we're born until after we're dead. And then if we get reincarnated or whatever, we're born into another system. But statism is a system which is affecting every nation on the planet. So it's an organised criminal gang trying to get to on Sunday is the fact that all governments are simply organised criminal protection rackets.
So we're all slaves to it.
Business. You have to pay them by law. They'll put you in a cage. But you know, there's no it's taking the power out of your hands when you give it over to a centralised authority figure. It's like a pyramid scheme. You're doing the same thing with authority. You're doing the same thing with government, and so you're putting other people. You're asking other people to dictate to you what's best for you. Well, how are they supposed to know? They're just going to do what best suits themselves. So you put people up on a pedestal, they're naturally going to fucking suit themselves, aren't they?
Yeah.
When you look at all these control systems and isms and belief systems that we were talking about that enslave us, an easy way to see through them is look who they're serving. I mean, like, statism serves the government, religion serves the people at the head of that place, and just look at them, they're all dripped.
It suits the leadership very well, but it never ever suits the followers, does it?
No. Yeah.
Exactly, mate.
The followers are there to please the leaders. They're inferior to the leaders. It's like, but the thing is about religious leaders, this is what winds me up, or even political leaders. Who is anyone to tell you what's for you? They haven't lived your life. They haven't lived through your circumstances. They haven't had your experiences. So they haven't had to make the same choices as you. So how can anyone expect anyone else? What, you expect somebody who's lived a privileged life to know how best somebody who's not been privileged is to live their life? This is all ridiculous. We're all individuals on this planet. We're all on our own individual paths. You'll be collectivised into groups against each other in perpetual conflict based on these division lines, these belief systems of politics and religion.
Yeah, I don't mean to be rude, like, but I got problems with that because I got mates across the road, like in my community, and he's Christian bloke and stuff like that, and he believes.
My best mate's Christian, mate. My best mate's
I know,
Christian.
yeah. It's hard, isn't it? You know, it's
not. No, it's not hard. I haven't got any problem with any beliefs as long as their beliefs aren't inflicting on anybody else. Listen, you can believe in the fucking sky fairies for all I care, as long as you're a nice bloke.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to insult them or even question their belief if they're not hurting anybody else. But it's when they use that belief to justify horrible things that they do to other people, and they say God told me to do it.
Right, no, my mates ain't like that.
Well, it was circumstances, the economic stir. My hand was forced, like in politics, and so I was forced to act in this way. Like our Chancellor and our Prime Minister were forced into austerity, in which they genocided so many disabled and poor people, wiped them out, and obviously had to open the borders to allow fresh meat into the country to fill the workforce.
And nobody has a problem with anybody believing in Bigfoot, because that's not going to harm anybody.
For less wages too.
And do you know what? By the way, I seen a Yeti video the other day. It was well convincing. Could have been a dog or it could have been a Yeti. I'm not sure yet. But I'm happy to even believe in that stuff. But it's what it gets used for. The worst thing Bigfoot gets used for is selling books and internet clicks. But religions and stuff. I mean, it was kind of. Nobody's got a problem with people that follow these belief systems. It's what the belief system uses the power for. Like the churches look what governments justify. Look what the governments justify doing because of their citizenry. Look at religions, what they've justified doing over the years because of their followers, so on and so forth.
Yeah. 2 billion below the poverty line, and the Pope sits on a gold throne.
I don't know how many.
There are. Listen. Let's not just dismiss all church. There are small local churches that have done really good humanitarian things, and they continue to do so. And when you join a church, I mean, my friend, he's joined a church in America. They fucking sorted out their fucking furniture for their house, gave them a baby shower, showered the baby with gifts when the baby was born. You know, and it's not a case of you're obligated to do anything, but everyone just loves each other because they believe in the Creator, you know, and it's a positive thing where they're working in the local community and they're helping local projects, they're helping local kids, the underprivileged, you know, and they're giving them something to believe in, something good to believe in. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, but it's where, again, leadership of large organised religions, and Jesus himself was not a believer.
That's a bit like saying that Bernard Matthews.
No, if you're going to live, surely, man, if you're going to live by Jesus' example, you would reject organised religion and live by his example, do as he did. And do you know what he done? Do you know the first thing he done? He turned over the money changers. And who's the modern day money changers? The hedge fund managers. And who's the inventors of all these fucking modern derivatives? The hedge fund managers. And Jesus would have fucking learnt them cunts if he was alive today. They'd be the cunts that Jesus would go after if he was alive. Hedge fund managers.
Talking to Jesus, there's Tony back in the room. Tony, what do you think of statism?
Jesus, the return.
Yeah, but Jesus is coming back with some balls. I tell you, he needs to. I mean, he's coming into a world with 21st century military hardware. He's going to have to come in with a cheaper, like Matrix, man. Fucking awesome, man. This Jesus, the modern Jesus is going to kick some fucking ass, I swear.
The modern Jesus will be riding a donkey with rims for sure.
22-inch rims.
Jesus will be riding a Harley Davidson with flaming wheels, man.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm going to grow a beard like Cookie.
How you doing this evening anyway, Tony? Alright, mate?
No, I'm alright, mate. That terrorist guy bolted.
Did you get the
MI5 was getting too close. He had to go to a safe house.
Oh, mate,
He had a word from his handler.
See when you first popped up, do you know what popped into my head first of all? I thought phone jacker. Remember a phone jacker? It's the first thing you popped into my note.
I never actually. It was just because you had wee emoji. I don't know. I was impersonating the emoji. That's the highlight of my fucking day. I impersonated an emoji.
Well, mate, today was a good day, man. Fuck's sake, man.
Monkey get banana.
Tomorrow I'll be a semicolon.
You scared the fuck out of me coming on with that balaclava on. That was fucking terrifying, man.
I thought you would have told us to put it back on once you've seen my face.
I knew that Martin wasn't sure who it was for a wee second.
I know, I was looking at Martin. Martin was sort of took a step back, sort of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Listen, you need to ring the police. You need to ring the police straight away and claim that you were alarmed, harassed, or distressed immediately.
Yeah, I belong to
the ski mask on and the boxer shorts. I should have just did that.
I belong to the Wessex Liberation Army, and they blew up a phone box in Devizes. And that was only because they left it in the fucking bomb in the phone when they went to phone their mum.
Well, listen, we've done over an hour, so Tony, what do you think about the statism belief to be free and stuff, mate? Because I know yourself, man, you've been on the Catholic side of the faith as you're younger with your family and stuff, and like obviously coming into this information, man, it's made you question that shit and all that. So, what do you think about the belief to be free and whatnot, man?
I don't know. I have to ask for permission.
Ask your priest.
Smart bloke.
It's just another fucking construct for controlling it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, really.
Yeah.
Anything to force us down a road to manipulate us. Anything to stifle us to stop us from progressing. I mean, it's the same old shit. It's the same game with a different name.
It's like being faced with a choice of bubonic plague and syphilis. I'd rather have neither.
It's a very simple question that you can ask yourself. What if somebody were to knock on my door and tell me that unless I give them half of my wages from now on, they're going to put me in a cage? What if somebody was to knock on my door and tell me unless I was to give them to give my money and so they could start a war with somebody I don't even know, then they'd throw me in a cage? Well, I'd say that's reality, man, and that is your government. Your government is
don't ask any questions.
They're taking your money and threatening you. You ain't free, are you? You're a slave. Your idea of freedom. The only freedom comes with responsibility. The responsibility is you got to fucking lead yourself, and there's no fucker to fall back on. There's no big brother to help you out of your woes. There's no benefits. There's no nothing. If you want rid of this shit, well, be prepared for what there is to replace it, because, like Cookie was saying, it's going to be a corporatocracy, or it's going to be even worse than this shit, because the fact is, in violent revolutions, the people with the guns end up winning. So, and we ain't got none. So it's going to be organised criminals who take over, just the same as the organised criminals. But at least now we have the illusion of freedom. We have the illusion of democracy. But once No, they're pushing for this collapse. I believe it's because
In revolutions, nothing changes.
Illusion gone, and it just to be an open dictatorship.
Well, we've done over an hour, guys, so I'll wrap this topic up with Alan, and then hit it with a
Sorry, mate, I just wanted to say I'm an Alan, yeah.
Oh, aye, with Alan, then I'll hit it with a tune, and then we can just come back with a bit of general banter. In the evening, Safety Man, how you doing, buddy?
All right. When I first read your title, one of the first things I said in the side chat was, when somebody explains to me what statism is, I'll tell you whether I agree with it or not. Because obviously,
Trust you, man.
So,
fuck that Google spell check.
So I did have a quick look. Anyway, I did have a quick look, and from what I can make out, it's classed as the opposite of anarchy. Is that correct?
Well, it's belief in the state. It's belief in the state. It's a belief in the state, and then we were discussing what the state is. The state is a state of mind believing in a set of rules, and that's
somebody like me. In a dictionary, that's what it'd say.
Yeah, somebody like me who likes the idea of anarchy but doesn't think it's realistically to be achieved, but thinks that statism is a load of bollocks, then I'm somewhere in the middle. Simple as that.
I think that
you're playing it safe, Alan. You're playing it safe.
I think
it's easy to fall off that fence, man.
Well, I'm going to before I play another tune, I'm going to just quickly say hi to everybody in the chat room. Make sure I've said a quick hi to everybody, and then we'll come back for a bit of general chit chat. So if you want to go make a cup of tea or whatever. Collyman, Holly, Mr. Grimm, Amy, Hale, us, Days, how you doing, guys and girls? Thanks for joining. Zigzag, Mr. Drew, Susanna, Jamesy, Boy, Cheris, Joe, how you doing? Peter, Amy, Alan McVicker, Flying Irishman, Heather, Jamesy, Boy, Brother Spartacus, Just Music in the evening. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you do enjoy the See Through the Fear Porn Friday, feel free to stick a wee thumbs up. If you do enjoy the music, there's his Go to Ridiculizers channel, aka Days, and you'll get all his music and his news rants and whatnot on his channel. Becky, Collyman, Newbie, Your TV Unplugged, how's all doing? Flying Irishman, Amy, Everyone a Zombie, Newbie Sale, Newbie, if that was you that popped in earlier, please try again. I was flapping, I wasn't sure if you were real or fake, if that makes sense. So please try again, don't let that put you off, try again, and I'll make sure you get involved. If that was you that popped in the hangout. Senator Soyrent, how you doing? Everyone is a Zombie. Flying Irishman, Days, Brother Spartacus, Cheris. In the evening, everybody. Hopefully I've not missed anybody out. Around Woodfords, how you doing? Alan McVicker in the evening. Philos, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're all good. John, fuck the New World Order, seen in there as well. W. Moore, the artist formerly known as Tony, the artist formerly known as the terrorist Tony. Cheris, so hopefully I've managed to say hi to everybody. So if I just can go back into the hangout and kindly ask everybody in the hangout if you will just mute up for a wee sec, guys, and I'll play one of Daisy's tune. Let me see, and I'll play this for you as well, so you can get the tune. As I said, link below for Daisy stuff.
those who seek to control it. Time can blur the lines of truth. Memory keep free from propaganda. Religion and politics, the enemy's building bricks. They use them to keep us apart. Religion and politics, a potent explosive mix, malignant corrosive facade. Hackles on both your houses from the comfort of my home. You're as tainted as the diamonds of Sierra Leone. History serves those who seek to control it. Time can blur the lines of truth. Memory keep free from propaganda. Every war that's ever been, every atrocity we've seen, they're responsible for. Every step along the way, double speak hypocrisy, we don't need them anymore. You fucking dirty bastards, I can see right through. You fucking dirty bastards, see right through you. You fucking dirty bastards, all the lies you tell. You fucking dirty bastards, may you rot in hell. You fucking dirty bastards, all the wars you start. You fucking dirty bastards for your blackened heart. You fucking dirty bastards for morality. You fucking dirty bastards, are you listening to me? Jimmy Savile was with the travel man, he had his own keys. A plastic gal was an unraveled state of email and see. He wasn't a sailor, a provider, ran about with the sailors like he wore shell suits or flammable fibres. He was a subscriber to Crowley's doctrine. There's a misassumption of his function like the head's a self fin. He had help from above and within the corridors of power and sin. So yo, I'm choking to go. I'm like a dugout in a trap with a flow. I'm locking on your hypothalamus and letting you know that I'm stealing a show. With false flag terrorism, I'm creating a schism, stealing your vision with an insightful incision. I perceive a vision of the safer decision. I've got a firepower and the ammunition to open up your eyes to the lies you were told about government. It really means mind control. Check the etymology. If you don't believe me, you better go check out Mark Passio. Swear to fuck I'm not having you on. Open up your eyes to the con. Religion means retarded when you check where the word comes from. To be thwarted in forward progress, to be held against for moving on. You are being played like a pawn. It's always darkest before dawn. The birth certificate sold you out when you were born. You shaped to be shot and you thought me was gone. Rip out the old way, start anew as it rearranges. It's over, you smash through the mirrors, blow the smoke away. Oh, nothing changes, nothing changes.
So there we go, another cracker from Days. So welcome back into the hangout, guys. Hope he's went to the toilet, got the kettle on, done all the good stuff. But another amazing tune with Days, man. You need to check out his channel, and he's got covers as well as his original stuff. So make sure you can check it out all out.
Empire Down's the one, mate. Empire Down.
He doesn't like me saying this, but I like the older version of it. It's no a million times different. It just wasn't like his finished article, and like
You like the early mix.
just the first time I heard it, mate. It was the version I heard. I heard it, I got it obviously like work in progress, man, and like I loved it, man. And like, mate, I love it, man. I think it's a shit watching.
I want to hear a drum and bass version of that. I want to hear a drum and bass remix of Empire Down.
Can you stick beats on stuff? Are you down with the kids?
Nah, I'm fucking hopeless, man. I just point and click. You know me, Kip. I had to watch your instructional video on how to have the fucking live chat about 6 times before I just went, I just point and click the same buttons as Kip did on the video, and then I will have a chat box. Thanks, Kip. Cheers, mate. Only took me a year or two, to take your advice. But I looked up the video and I found the advice, and that took.
I cannot believe how old I sounded there like that. Can you put beats on something? I don't even know how you'd go. In fact, that's a lie. I do know a wee bit now.
Listen, put a donk in it. Put a donk in it, and it'll sell.
I would look for an app. I would look for Add Your Own Beats app. That's what I would do. But that's a sign of the times.
Add your own beat off.
But seriously though, I swear to you, I got the tingles. I got the tingles on Empire Down, yeah. And I reckon with a little bit of massaging, yeah, a little bit of softening, a little bit of tweaking, that thing could be that's the tune of the 21st century. The lyrics and the fucking tune, the tune itself is really catchy as well. It just it gets you right on your heartstrings. So I reckon just a little bit of massage. He's got a fucking hit record there, and he don't even know it. Mind you, what music industry boss is going to employ Days? Because Days ain't money motivated, is he? So he don't want a hit record, does he?
It's not even that. He's not advertising friendly. How can you sell a band who's telling people to go and screw the fucking music industry in the ass? It's kind of hard, man.
Exactly. This is a piece of music that's completely free and individual, and you don't have to pay for it. That's the point of it.
Well, mate, if that tune went fucking viral on YouTube, which it should,
should have done it.
Days would get a few quid for it, and rightly fucking so, man. And then that should cutting out the whole need for fucking music producers and all that. Well, no producers,
and then potentially. He could then put a few bucks aside and then maybe get some instruments together and maybe organise a live show. You don't know, do you? Does Days do all the instruments himself?
Mate, and then puts it on his computer now. He's got band members and stuff as well.
I know he's a savant, man. He's a genius.
In fact, you need to ask. I know you need to ask him. I know he's had drum players and all that, but I know he can produce tunes himself, which would entail making drum beats. But and I know he's got a big band room and all that stuff, so I don't want to get too technical with you here. I've been hanging around with the cool kids. I've been hanging around with the strings.
Fuck off, Kip.
But man, like kind of like anything, any topics anybody wants to go into, anything at all, man, because I've touched on that statism stuff, man, so it's pretty much about opening it up and I
tell you what, this is synchronicity, Kit, because I was thinking about doing my Sunday show all about superstition, yeah? The book by Lark and Rose, the Statism, the Great Superstition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that book? Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've read a few passages from it, got the full thing on PDF. I've gone through it and it just rings so true, and it's just our belief in this fairy. It's like belief in a man in the sky, like our belief in religion, our belief in this and that. I speak openly here, but like if we were live, I might like get ostracised by like admonishing everything that everyone was believed to thought was true and is actually a lie, But I know I can speak here freely. There's no bearded man in the sky. He's right here on the screen. His name's
I'm listening.
Pay me money!
Now, that I should demand, that deserves a book contract, just that minor truth in itself. And I think I should be financially supported here by Carl's Jr. and the sales of my new book, which is coming out shortly, which I've entitled The Death of Jimmy Savile.
It's just
a fantasization of it's a fetishization of throwing Jimmy Savile out of a 100-story high window and just watch him splat on the ground. And it's really descriptive. It's very good.
See you saying that, mate.
It's centered around it.
Mate, see you saying that. It's reminded me of something I was thinking about, right? And it's kind of like people might know about the myth of the Ark of the Covenant and how kind of like, oh man, everywhere that's went, it's kind of been where civilization is or propagated or whatnot. Now, maybe the Ark of the Covenant, you argue what it is, like, is it like a book telling you how to create religion and what a scam religion is, and how to control hundreds of people and get them to kill people? with setting up a religion. And if you look at the people who look at the Reformation, who was behind that, Knights Templars, Masonic connections, they got their esoteric knowledge for the Hebrews at the time.
I don't know, man, because I was looking back at the Reformation, and there was a lot of Jewish shit happening as well. At the same time, a lot of rewriting of ancient texts, a lot of rewriting of ancient books. So I wonder if historically these Templars are working in conjunction with this, or maybe this higher hierarchy of Christians is working with this higher hierarchy of Jews in order to form some kind of twisted coalition, like some kind of Judeo-Christian pact.
The Knights Templars learned all their tricks.
Islam,
It's
all belief system against belief system. Ultimately, we're on different continents, we're different colours. Well, we were originally. Now we're all mixing. Eventually, might all be the same colour. Well, I'm not particularly worried about racial identity because I believe we're all human beings. Yeah. Sorry, that might be a little bit, but we're all going to be brown. All I know is my mate's just had a baby with a girl from an Iraqi girl, and the kid's the most beautiful kid I've ever seen, right? And there's a white couple over the road, and their kid's as beautiful I've ever seen. So I mean, it's just like kids are beautiful, but there's some kids on some continents getting bombed the shit out of. And it's down to the interests of the fuckers that are selling shit in this country that these fuckers are dying in that country. But nobody's taking responsibility, are they? When you look at the exports of the country, it's all arms, all guns and bullets and bombs and missiles. We're not producing anything of worth. We're not creating anything of value except destruction. And it's this broken window fallacy.
They need
Could go back to it. It just don't generate anything. But they're actually working to this destructive maxim.
They need the want for that. Industry 5 is yet again the man's want for power, control, and people with money being able to propagate that stuff. So it's the wrong people.
And of course, as we've said before, Kit, the bullets and the bombs and the missiles need to be sold. And what's the best way to sell them? A war. It's economy as well. The war actually is a growth factor in economy. If you're at war, your economy is growing. That's the twistedness of this GDP twisted fucking head fuck.
Yeah, look, man, hang on. No one's economy is growing at the moment. We're into deflation.
No, that's not true. The economies are growing, mate, according to their figures. Whether it's real or not, according to their figures, it's an economy. They're classifying it. You're not hitting targets and stuff. It's classified as a slowdown and stuff. But
no, we're into deflation now. It's all going to go down.
It's a play on words, mate. It's a play on words, and then it's a play on words. Kind of thing. I believe.
Anyway, Kev, I can't let it. I'm going to fuck off, yeah? I'll see you later, yeah?
What's that, man?
Oh, see bless up, skis. See you later.
Good night, Martin.
You off to bed a bit, Martin?
Yeah.
You get something on tomorrow? Or is he froze up?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a space if anybody wants to join, I think. I don't know if Martin's froze up or... Did I miss something there? Did somebody say something to piss him off and he flew? No?
No.
No, alright, cool. I know I was trying to look in the chat and... Night, Martin. So, what does anybody else want to talk about? Because I'm poofed out, man. I've not even get big bro. Oh, in fact, I've got something I really do want to talk about, man. This is bombshell fucking news, boom-proof evidence. Now, EastEnders, Coronation Street recently imparted the knowledge of the moon landing hoax or spoke about it. Ah shit! Earlier on today, in the factory, two of the girls were talking about tax, right? I kid you not, they were talking about tax. And do you know what names they dropped in when they were talking about tax? Oh, you need to clamp down on the big tax avoiders, Google and Amazon. And there was another one that I forgot right now. Fuck, but I was like, my God.
Yeah, but because they believe so many of the working class watch these things, they want to guide and mould the popular vernacular.
Mate, how many people that watch
these things, and they're sort of drop a few things in there. They want people talking about it. They want people talking about it because it's as Cookie says, it's a negative reinforcement loop. You know, it's a circular argument, circular logic, and they just go around in circles.
Look how many people make Coronation Street watchers, and we know the millions of people that watch that. And if this works on even the smallest percentage of this, they're now going to go into work and have that subliminal message of the Amazon and Google. And I talked about it, how Amazon and Google are getting used as a problem or actually solution for a global, one world tax system. That's more fair. That's what they're striving for.
Hit list.
But like every problem, reaction, solution, it'll be the public that get fucked on it.
Yeah.
You know.
I was going to say hi. We've got a newbie in. How you doing, newbie? Can you hear us, newbie?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know if it's feedback, a bad microphone or what, but the audio is terrible, man. Sorry? Hold on. Let me see if I can turn you up. See if that works.
Very garbled.
Sounds like a bad microphone, bad connection, something along those lines, maybe. But we literally can't make out what you're saying, newbie. Oh, I try and reset it, see if that works. Oh, shit, in the meantime, I'm trying to turn it up. So what were we talking about there anyway? Anybody get Frankie boy? You've always got interesting topics to talk about, man. Organic organ light. Are you still with us, mate?
Hello, Kip.
Any topics that's at the forefront of your head? What's the thinking on the land in Chile, mate? Because I was talking earlier on. These are the sort of I know people will and scoff at that and stuff, man, but wrongly, I think, because that's the kind of thinking you need by people, man. It ain't going to happen if people don't fucking think about it.
I think you were hitting the nail on the head earlier, Kip, about. I think you hit the nail on the head earlier, Kip, about removing yourself from the state propaganda and actually taking some real initiative and thinking outside the box. What we can all possibly do, you know. Gold, like somebody said earlier, gold isn't going to feed you. And
I wanted to say you'd be better off buying crates of whiskey because that's what people are going to want come the apocalypse.
If it gets so bad, you want to
plus, talk. Listen. If it does all go to shit, at least you can have a good old drink.
It's actually it's been proven true in history. Alcohol is one of the most reliable backup resources. Partly for its disinfectant value, partly for its fuel value, and mostly for its barter exchange value, as well as the fact that if the worst comes to worst, you can just get pissed.
Yeah, it'll never go out a day either.
Tell you anything worth. You know what I mean? It's the truth. Buy whiskey. Buy lots of it. If you don't drink it, at least you buy it. Buy lots of it anyway.
It wouldn't go out a day like your prepper food either. Because see, a lot of people that buy this prepper food, it's got a use by date about 4 years or something. Yeah. It's a fucking scam.
you've got to live on a fucking freeze-dried diet of shit food, because it really is shit food. It's not really nutritionally balanced or fucking particularly good for you. Yeah, it's survival food.
What do you mean? What's wrong with McDonald's?
All hail!
Are we talking the quarter pounder with cheese, or are we talking the Big Mac here? Because like
It's
one
all
has
poison.
absolutely no nutritional value,
I know, mate.
and one has even less nutritional value.
Here, 5, do you want to know what, man, your sponsorship's working, man? You know, it's Carl Jr.'s you're sponsored by. So,
yeah.
I was like, but Carl's Jr., like, so I actually Googled, see, before the night, I actually Googled Carl's Jr.'s for, I was like, oh, their burgers look shit hot, man. It's like, you get so many burgers.
The charbroiled, listen, you can almost taste the charbroiled goodness.
Mate, they look dynamite, I kid you not. Oh,
they look lovely, don't they? But they taste like shit. And after that, the chicken deluxe, man. Listen, go in there and get your chicken deluxe. They give you, I tell you what they give you, right? When you go in there, they give you a little bleeper, an electronic little device to tell you when your food's cooked, because they cook it there and then for you, right? They freshly cook it. So you walk in there and you get a little fucking device that bleeps when your food's ready, and then you can go up to the counter. So you can like wander around, and the seats are always full, and you can get in there. But listen, the Carl's Juniors, you know, you've got a mixed menu. The one you want to go in, the burger joint they want to go in, is the In-N-Out burger, because they've only got like 2 things on the menu, which is fried burger. Burgers of differing amounts. They've not got a choice of burger sauce. They've just got the double or the normal.
I need to stop this. It makes me extremely hungry, man.
Yeah, but like, they've got this thing where they charbroil the burgers, man, right? And listen, this is wild, yeah. They've got in a little dispenser on the side of the counter, they've got 3 jalapeno peppers, man. They've got a little fucking dispenser of jalapeno peppers that are free. You can have as many jalapeno peppers as you can eat, if you like jalapeno peppers. For me, they burn out my ringer, so I leave them alone.
No, I like them, man, and I don't know, I can handle them so much.
In-N-Out burgers the one for you then, Kit, because I tell you what, the burgers are the best. Yeah,
if I eat that sort of food now,
I don't know how. I don't know how McDonald's is still in business, because they don't do, as far as I know, nobody eats there here. Nobody I speak to eats in McDonald's, and nobody I spoke to in the States ate in McDonald's. In-N-Out burger, yeah. IHOP, yeah, for breakfast. Yeah, with the silver dollar pancakes and the blueberry fucking syrup. Oh, man. Oh, Kip, you just don't even fucking know, man. You need a flight to Vegas, boy.
Mate, do you know what? I Wikipedia'd them and everything, right? And I was onto some hope after I looked at their fucking pictures, and they're expanding into other countries. So you're going to get it down in London. You've probably even got one in London, you don't know it. Or is it?
I've probably got a Carl Jr. have I?
Oh, well, they're expanding, so I would imagine they would come to the UK. It's not as if the UK isn't corporate burger friendly, you know what I mean? They love that shit.
I'll make sure to keep buying my takeout food at the Oasis Fish Bar.
Make sure you keep sponsoring it, mate. You might get a free burger.
I put my money where my mouth is, man. I sponsor the local kebabery. I don't buy no fuck. If I want a takeout, man, I'll go down a local Chinese, Indian, or kebab specialist. You know, if I want a lazy night, I've had a few, because it does get on top of you being a full-time carer. And yeah, and obviously, you know, we sometimes need a night off, or we don't want to do no washing up. So fuck McDonald's and fuck Kentucky. I'll go somewhere where I know probably the food's a lot cleaner out of a kebab shop than it is out of a franchise.
I mean, you don't want him out of his hat then, no?
It's been through less hands, you know.
Hope he's selling his chips.
See, we're joking about that, right? And we all do enjoy, I don't know, I can only speak about myself, but I enjoy a nice burger every now and again, right? But it's about balance, and ultimately it's about where you want to be. And if you can, I mean, I'm talking about it and I keep talking about it, is to push me into the position. I'm going to try and grow just basic stuff. What was it? Potatoes, onions, and strawberries. Right, they're very easily grown in the UK apparently, and there's a wee bit down there that I'm going to try and apparently I should be able to do it. And
I don't know if Hannibal Lecter would put that in the same dish though. You know.
Well, mate, it's a step in the right direction. I don't see myself just not having a burger or two, or having to go to the supermarket to supplement.
Yeah,
I'm not going to live off fucking onions, strawberries, and
the goulash
and
are questionable. The
But
goulash
start,
are questionable.
It's a start.
it's symbolic, and I can only imagine that if you grow your own food and taste it, it's only going to spur you on in the confidence to do more. And
Exactly.
You could, people could grow other products as well, and you can eat the seeds, and that has got a lot of good stuff in it for you. That's one of the things that you can keep stock of long term that has a good shelf life.
Important as well, but let's not start selling people seeds. Buy seeds, they're good for 9 months, and you need to buy more seeds.
I'm saying if you're growing your own, you can keep some of the seeds and build up a stockpile.
Have a seed bar.
Yeah.
You can pick your seeds and then just condense them all with a big glob of honey so that they all stick together into a bar shape. And then you can devour them.
Mate, you should sell that. You should sell that. That's a product in that, man.
Am I not a fucking salesman or what?
It's sweet and crunchy.
If bullshit was gold dust, if bullshit was gold dust, I'd be a fucking millionaire by now. Honestly, I would be. If bullshit was gold dust, I'd be a millionaire.
Again, it's the simple things that we can all possibly do, like aquaponics. You can look into small-scale aquaponic systems that you can start growing a little bit of your own food, and at the same time you're withdrawing yourself from the system.
Yeah.
Oh man, aquaponic tomatoes are going to be delicious, man.
Lettuces and all kinds you can do.
Oh, wild flavours. I bet you could get some bok choys going. Oh, anything you want, man. Fucking wild flavours. Spring greens. Spring greens out of the arse, man. You'd have your fucking gravy juice for the next fucking 10 years off of one crop, man.
Exactly, and you've got some control over your food, unlike what we're buying from the supermarkets. Even the food which they profess to be organic, it's not exactly 100% organic.
It's only classified as organic, Frank, isn't it?
Exactly, Kit. So it's these little it's these little individual small steps that we can take, and
it's cooking. It's cooking for yourself. It's not allowing them to use these chemicals. Takes buying raw ingredients and then taking
It means
time
you've got to
actually prepare and cook it.
You've got to make an effort. You've got to put the effort in. I mean, it's not easy. See, they've made us lazy to a degree with fast food.
Yeah, we have, but we've not prioritised food highly enough. I don't think.
We left it in someone else's hands to think, because we trusted them, thinking they're going to give us healthy, wholesome food, when it's just about, obviously, money, cheaper ingredients, really bad stuff that's in takeaway food, especially.
Of course, the preservatives to make it last on the shelf, to make it, they need to sell it before it goes off.
Yeah, and people have become, because they're working long hours, so it's a kind of easy option, and people have bought into that hugely. That's why you got a huge increase in all kinds of problems in health and everything, like you say. And people can't think, because they're not getting any nutrition,
Yeah, you're investing. Kip started initially about instead of buying fucking Bitcoin and gold and silver, you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
You're investing in gnosis, knowledge, and like you were saying, Peter, a lot of these skill sets we've lost because we put our trust in these corporate entities, and they've verbally shit on us.
Yeah.
And
I've taken Frank. I've taken a fucking life coaching course. I've gone in there. It's all NLP. Every last shred of it. replace your negative self-talk with positive self-talk. I've been through that a fucking million times, man. I've fucking had CBT. I know what that shit is, yeah? But I thought this was a life coaching course. I thought this was supposed to give me some idea of a direction forward. Because I've got no ambition towards money, fucking beautiful girlfriend, a fucking yacht. You can fucking wave these fucking trinkets in front of me. I don't even fucking raise an eyebrow, you know. And so I'm looking for a motivation, and they're saying, well, what's your motivation? Well, I don't know, that's why I'm here. That's why I took this fucking course. It was in the prospectus. And her first question, she gives me a questionnaire. And I'm like Hannibal Lecter when I see a questionnaire. You know, you think you can dissect me with this blunt little tool?
Sherry's.
Did you fill it out in black ink already?
It just gets my fucking knuckles up. Well, it's just to see where you are on your path of discovery. Oh, fuck you. No, show me. Show me what you... Show me. Teach me. It's not up to me to tell you. It's up to you to teach me. What do you not... This is the question. What do you expect this course to do for you? And what do you expect this course not to do for you? What do you expect this course not to do for you? I turned around to her, I said,
make my breakfast in the morning.
Listen, as far as both of those questions are concerned, the answer is in the prospectus, which is what I took this course upon the strength of. That was the course description. Yeah? What I expect of it and what I don't expect of it was in the course description, and I chose to take the course. Why are you asking me about this?
What's it a course in again?
So give me the tools and teach me. And she's saying, well, we need to create a network and open up and trust each other and tell each other secrets. And I'm like, I don't even know you fucking people. Oh, we're trying to create a network of friends. Listen, I have no idea whether I want to know these people or I don't want to know these people. I don't know these fucking people. I've never had a conversation with these people, and I'm supposed to open up and trust these people. These people could be fucking content. These people could be villains. These people could be just scuzz buckets. Or they could be genuinely nice people like me. But I have no way of... I'm not just going to open up just in a fucking room full of strangers, you know. I fucking got shit that will twist their melon, you know, if I open up to them. You know, I don't want to... They'd all be going out of there fucking with their eyes pointing in different directions if I fucking open up to them.
Sorry, I was going to...
I give them the full large, they won't be able to take it. Their little melons will not be able to withstand the fucking knowledge.
I meant to say hi to... I was going to say Newbie, but Newbie.
Yeah.
There, you're working now. I'm sorry, I was in the chat there for a wee second, man. Guess who has just been an energy vampire again? So how you doing this evening?
I'm fine, and you, Chip? You alright?
Aye, good stuff. So where are you from? I can hear the English accent, but neck of the wood, I can't place it yet.
I'm down the next of Northampton in UK.
Northampton, where's that?
That's in the Midlands.
Oh, the Midlands, right, I get that. I know where the Midlands is.
Look your accent.
That's right at the side. That's Middle Earth. That's right Middle Earth.
Oh, sure, right. It's not much of a town, I tell you.
Yeah, it's by... I'll tell you what, I've heard on good authority it's by the sea.
No, far away from the sea. I love the sea. I come from the coast. But no. Northampton, you don't want to promote it. It's so corrupt down here.
There's no shoreline.
I just wanted to see sort of what general neck of the woods you're in. You don't need to disclose your address, but thanks for joining anyway. So,
not my address.
You want to bring any topic you want to bring up in it, or do you just want to come
Oh
in for
yeah,
the
I
general
want to
chat?
talk about the moon. What about talking about the moon, if it's real or not? Like David Icke goes on about if the moon is an illusion, or if it's real. Like I saw it last night.
Well,
and it literally looked real.
I think everything's a hologram.
No, hold on a sec.
I'll tell you what, Kip, I think it's all a holodeck.
No, but no, I know, mate, I know, but it is.
Except my holodeck, I had the money to get better credit on my holodeck experience, which is why I'm driving an M3, and you haven't ever driven one, Kit.
Right, well, look, to be fair, let's approach this. Let's get Spock in the room for a second, right? So, like, I definitely think the moon is there, man. There's a lot of questions you can ask what it is. There's a few strange things about it. The fact it's a satellite, faces the Earth, and it doesn't rotate. Stuff like that. A lot of questions. Questions whether we've been there. I think robots have definitely been there. I think man has been there, but just not as we know it. But David Icke, stuff like that, man, I think that was very early on in his even more crazier loonball days, to be frank. I think even now he will retract himself for those statements because he's going down a more sellable route now. So I don't know. I'm no. I like David Icke. I used to love him, man. But he's a motivational speaker. It dresses it up to a demographic, in my opinion, to keep them at a certain level. And it's great because it sounds lovely, man. Who doesn't want to vibrate your way to happiness and peace, love and happiness, man? It sounds lovely. I just don't think it has any basis in what I witness around me, man. I'm not saying... Yeah. I don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. If I can touch on David Icke and get a lot of shit away from it. I mean, if you want to feel positive about nothing, listen to David Icke. You can hear the lion roar. But
why do you reckon he brings in all the crowds all the time and makes so much out of all this World War going on at the moment?
Well, it's not so much like if he was making money, he was making money, but it's where his argument is for me. It's where he sort of takes the conversation. I mean, look at his first thing that he can't even stand by. Like when he first came out with those lizard people, he was talking about genuine bona fide lizard people, not metaphors and stuff, which he's then transformed it into these metaphors and shit. Who, by the way, was brought to you by the newly deceased Jesuit Terry Wogan. Think about that as well. In a cell suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesuit. Theosophy.
But like, I don't know, David Icke, man, batter in, listen to him, especially people that I don't know. I took a lot away from David Icke, but I broke away from his vortex. And then I never looked back.
That's it.
You forget the Hegelian dialectic was never down to Icke. And this is a pattern that's repeated. And it's a valuable thing that I learned from Icke, but it's not down to Icke. Problem, reaction, solution. And he refers back to that time again, the repeating pattern of it, which is true. And he refers down to, the other archetypes as well that we'll fall into, the victim mentality and everything else. He's got some very valuable fucking information, and he's worth listening to. But the problem is, at the end of everything or whatever, that he's always going to be discredited because of the lizard shit or the holographic shit that he comes out with, which completely it makes his opinion unpalatable. To us, we can listen to it because we've got open minds. But to the fucking vast majority, they'd be just going to switch.
Exactly.
And so all of the good stuff that he said has been discredited.
Correct.
By taking a big lizard shit on it.
The skid marks of the lizard shit taints everything else.
So he takes the time, he meticulously researches, and he tells you the 100% truth. And then at the end of it, he takes a big, giant holographic lizard shit on it.
Big fat hairy Illuminati lizard shit.
Yeah, I mean that was purely. I mean, I made up the big fat hairy New World Order Illuminati spider in order to express the descriptive writing which some people use in order to sell literature.
Do you hear that? Okay. 5 created the Illuminati.
It's a big fat hairy Illuminati New World Order Illuminati spider that sits in the middle and it spins webs of lies. Okay, and what you need to do is buy my book in order to find out all about it.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
But sorry, like newbie, like I don't want to poo-poo what you're saying or anything, but can only give you my fair opinion on old David Icke stuff and all that.
I took what your question was as
mainly about the
it
new
was
moon.
sarcastic, wasn't it? Yeah, I got the impression you were asking it in a sarcastic fashion more than anything.
Oh, right, sorry.
I hope so.
I don't know, man. Like for me, I think the moon's there. There's been interesting information out there about the sound that comes off it, and then you need to ask the question: why did they? Remember they released that shit and blew it into it to see what would happen, and they've sent it back live apparently. So there's a lot of questions about the moon. Where there was.
You really believe that it's actually like a hologram?
No.
Theory?
No, I don't. People can look at
There's
it.
a lot of
I can look at it.
There's a lot of disinformation out there, isn't there?
I don't know, man. Like,
I keep telling you, people, it's not a hologram; it's a holodeck.
There's paintings of the moon before they ever even thought about the word hologram, right? So what came first? Human beings knowing about the moon, or people knowing about the bill trying to project? So it wasn't as if the moon just sprung up overnight. Ah, fuck!
It's not just that the moon is holographic; everything is holographic. Even your eyeballs are holographic. So how can you say a hologram with a hologram?
It's a lovely wee rap. It's a lovely wee munder for your mind, but I wouldn't get stuck.
That's exactly the point. That's what it commonly does. It gives you a certain amount of empirically traceable evidence and arguments, and then it leaves you on a never-ending hole, a rabbit hole that has no base, has no bottom. You'll never find the bottom of it. That's the whole point of it. That's the turn.
Negative reinforcement.
Well, what about the theory about the flat Earth then?
Exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. It's a never-ending hole. It's a rabbit hole that you will never find the bottom of.
Nimi, have you never?
Do you get your theory from that?
Is there nothing like? Do you believe in the flat Earth or what, or is it just something you've looked?
Well,
into?
no, it's just something I recently come across in my research, and it's just something that got disinformation agents out there. So much conspiracy theory. I don't go down that way. So I'll be down those rabbit holes a lot.
I think flat Earth's a story that's been put out there to confuse people.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered the possibility that whether the Earth is flat or round is irrelevant? The important thing is that we're all on it.
Yeah, we're going to fall off it though. You know what they're doing in the
We haven't so far.
They're going to turn the gravity. They're going to turn the gravity machine off, man, and we're just going to start floating away.
Empirical evidence.
Turn on the Tesla machine.
So now the state even has the power to convince you of the reality around you, such that you're thinking it's some kind of flat construction.
I'm glad
you
went
fall off if they turn off the gravity.
I'm kind of glad we went off on this tangent, because I wanted to ask you, Cookie, what you thought about the most amazing discovery ever yesterday about gravitational waves.
I haven't looked at it any further than seeing the headline yet. I'm curious to see what it is they kind of discovered, other than gravity waves.
Well, it's basically what they're saying it is. It's the. Do you know how Einstein says gravity's like time's a bit of paper, gravity's the mass of paper. So they're saying that they have detected, proven his theory of 100 years ago, the waves that he theorized that would exist at the creation of the Big Bang. The Big Bang creating these gravitational waves like ripples in a pond, as they describe it, or ripples on a paper of time. And they say that using lasers, they've detected this shit.
Through black holes, though, isn't it, Kip? They said about two black holes colliding, and then it creates this singularity, which gives off this wave. So people are saying that black holes don't exist. So,
When I saw that, Peter, I was amazed
Yeah.
The sensationalist way they've represented old information.
See, sometimes though, I've got a good analogy. Sometimes I believe sometimes you wish you still believed in Santa. Sometimes I still believed in science that was on the BBC, you know what I mean? See, you remember when you were a wee guy and they went, "We've got pictures from Mars." You were like, "Wow, man, pictures from Mars." Now you're like, "What the fuck is this?" Know what I mean? Like, you don't know what it is.
We've got pictures of the rings around Uranus.
Could be considered blasphemous, but people stop believing in Santa when they realise he's a fantastic fantasy figure, but they never stop believing in God, no matter how grown up they claim to be. It's quite amazing to me. Sorry,
I disagree, Kit. Well,
my name's not Kit. It's Rob. Well done.
Not Roberto either.
What's up?
Why do you disagree? And please air your disagreement clearly, rather than just trolling and calling me a fucking
I disagree as a man in that position who went to a Catholic church, who was told one way, believed everything was this way and that way, and then as I've got older, I've realised that's bollocks. So that's
how
exactly
have I contradicted that, man? How the fuck have I contradicted that?
No, because you're saying people don't realise, they still believe, and I'm telling you, I don't still believe.
Yeah, but I'm not telling you personally.
He's talking about the royal we as the masses. The masses.
You've taken it personally. You've taken it as a personal argument because I've challenged. I've challenged the belief system of yours.
You're making a statement, and I'm telling you, you're making a statement, and I'm telling you, it's not that way with me. That's all. I'm not taking it personally.
I weren't saying it was that way with you.
People definitely escape the vortex of the church and stuff, man. I think Five was in the context what he was talking about, Alan. I think he was meaning more the royal us, as in the critical mass of people still have that belief, which prevents them to break free. Kind of.
I know people. I know clever people that think that way. I don't deny that. I know clever people that believe that way.
Well, they think they're clever because. Ultimately, do you think the fucking Pope believes in God? Or the God that he presents? And people will laugh at me.
You know the contradiction, geezer? I believe in God. But
I don't even think the Pope would turn around and believe his own
bullshit. I do
bullshit.
believe in a creator. I don't know if you call it a God, a creator. There's a force. Not an individual, perhaps. But a creative force, maybe, that I believe in. I believe in the good side of the force.
The spiritual side, you reckon?
No, the good side, but the can smite evil side. I like the side which has got some kick-ass, but for the good side,
Shit, I forgot Heather was in the room, man. Things not playing. I'm not seeing my cameras in the evening. Heather, are you with us? You still juggling kids or what in the background?
No, I'm here. Sorry, I was just reading some stuff.
So, how you doing this evening?
Good. How are you? Happy Friday. I was also observing the chat and was reading a little bit.
So what's happening?
Nothing's going on. Nothing big.
Anything you want to bring up or anything before we fire off live?
Yeah, fuck statism. Fuck that state of mind. You guys should, within oneself, take care of oneself and your babies and all that jazz and your family.
Have loyalty. Exactly, that's a good point. Actually, have loyalty to yourself, not the state. Get your priorities straight.
Yeah, put your family before your state.
Yeah, fuck statism. This morning, dropped off my kid a little bit late and heard the Pledge of Allegiance going off. I was like, oh, this just creeps me out.
Oh, no. Oh, there we go. We're going to get a wee blast of it in the background there, maybe. No. But thanks for joining, Heather. Kick about for the after chat. Anything anybody else want to touch on before we fire off live? I'm going to line up another one of Daisy's greatest hits. I can't play F.E.A.R. porn again.
I'd just like to say,
Empire.
Statism is the greatest superstition. Ultimately, statism is a belief that somebody knows better than you what is best for you. That is your belief. If you believe that you need to pay taxes and believe in an overpowering entity which actually has your best interest at heart, even though it bleeds you dry. That's statism.
It's a corrupt system, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just lining up Daisy's tune. I thought.
Yeah, I'm moving up now.
I thought 5. I would do. I'm going to bring your Empire down. Since we were chatting.
Oh, I love Empire Down. If you play Empire Down, man, that's awesome.
Getting that hooked up right now.
You got to put a dunk on it.
Yeah, you got to put a donk on Empire Down, man. You got to hit record. That's right.
What do you mean a donk?
I'll be your manager. I'm going to take percentage to the rest of the members of the band.
So, special thanks to everybody in the panel. Tony, Becky, Cookie, Heather, and Newbie. Thanks for joining. Always new people, always welcome and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry for not engaging me earlier on. I just need to be careful with who's coming in. I'm sure you understand.
That's alright.
Organic Light, Peter, Roberto, Carlos, 5. He was in the chat earlier as well. Click on his avatar and whatnot. You'll get his channel for the Idiocracy Hour, or Hours I think it is actually, on Sunday. 8 bells it usually kicks off. I do believe. Alan, thanks as well for joining. I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Hope there wasn't too much bull crap going on in the chat, man. And I know people censorship and stuff. It's just energy vampires. I've got no time for them anymore, man. Because they just return.
Out of discussion, man.
I mean, and people, people can't help but engage with idiots sometimes.
Negativity,
man, and that's what it's all about, exactly.
And
man.
Controversy and shit. When we could all have a decent conversation and share knowledge, it would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
If only.
It really breaks up the flow of a lot of real good-hearted people, man, and that's the most disappointing thing about it, man. And it's not as if people don't get chances and whatnot. And it's
fucking heartbreaking, man.
It's here to use, not abuse. You can put it in those simple terms if you like, but definitely here to use, not abuse. Right, oh shit, what am I doing? I thought I pressed the button.
Sorry.
No, it's alright, man. I'm talking to myself here. I'm trying to press bells and whistle while pretend I'm
I'll mute up,
sense.
because it's Dave's tune, man, and it's a good one. I want to listen, man.
So, in the chat, we've got John, how you doing? Jamesy Boy, Truth Seeker, Amy, Organic Light, Tazzy, Cheris, the artist formerly known as the terrorist art, formerly known as Tony, Truth Seeker, Made in the UK, how you doing? Thanks everybody. If you do enjoy the See Through the Fear Porn Friday, stick a thumbs up, it's much appreciated. Links below for all the channels and for Daisy's channel, the music. Make sure you give him a wee, if you enjoy his music, make sure you tell him, man. Shit hot.
You're gonna fucking love this one, man.
Debbie, your TV's unplugged. Infor Taze, how you doing? Made in the UK, Debbie, Philos, Jamesy Boy, Cheris, Collie Moon, John Laden, seems like Bin Laden, Brother Spartacus, Zigzag, Cheris, Jamesy Boy, so hope Blazing, Stone Man. Hopefully I've managed to say hi to you all. Days was in the chat, Safety Man, Mr. Grimm was in earlier, but he was abusing it again. Colin and Cheris. So thanks to everybody that did get involved and enjoy it properly. Catch me on Monday for another BBC B Newsman. Community page link below for all the hangouts that will be going on over the weekend. I'll make sure to share them if I come across them. 5's hangout on Sunday, and for another BBC B Newsman. Could I ask everybody to mute up? Newbie, I don't know if you need to mute up.
Yeah, cool.
Could you mute up? Just for just now, hang around for the after chat just while I'm
sure.
getting this out, right? That'd be brilliant. And that sounds good. Right buttons. There we go. Thanks everybody. Catchies.
F.E.A.R, come on. It keeps the cheese and the knees and the rats and the race and those peasants in the days like a head up on the ace. It's F.E.A.R, come on.
Keeps clear.